Hello, it's Andy Graham. I'm going to talk about my rug. I call this a rug, but it's really just a rag. I always carry like a quick dry rag, and you don't have to, it's not really high tech. What it is it's like a normally completely nylon thing made from China, so cheap that it really won't hold water. And you don't really want to carry something in your bag that holds a lot of water. And I don't have to use it the last couple of days, so I always put it in my bag dry. So I mean, it dries really quick, you know, unless it's anywhere. But I carry one of these. But one of the things that you realize, there's like MRSA or whatever, and all these things in the hospitals, and there's two different things that are really just, you don't really want to live in an air-conditioned room, but because you're recirculating all this air-conditioned air, which is going through this filter, which is full of bullshit. So but the other thing is, you don't really, people that clean rooms don't really clean them. They just wipe them down, okay? And so one way I've came up to with real simple is you just have these rags. Hopefully I'm going to sell these. I found this very special one in Africa that is just super. Oh, I'm not going to be able to do this with one hand. Okay, I'm going to wring this thing. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I often just buy a very, very small bottle of chlorine. In most countries you can just buy these really dinky little bottles and throw them away, but what I do is I take some chlorine and I put it in a bucket. I carry a bucket, but I'm not sure I'm going to ever get you guys to realize how intelligent that is. But there's a bucket I have here that I always have in my backpack that also protects my stuff. But I actually got a bucket, extra bucket, here in the room because it's just the nature of Africa and Central and South America and Asia. So I put that thing in there, and then I put this on the floor. But what I understand is, basically everywhere in your room, I just keep doing a once over on my room with my foot and sort of mop the floor. But I go over all the counters and all the sinks and all the things, and eventually by the time I leave this room, it's actually cleaner than when I came in. And I often knew that when I rented houses. I used to have like 30 or 60 houses. I managed 250. A good person leaves a place in better condition than when they enter. And if you're not leaving your hotel room basically fixed or better shape than when you do it, you're really not with the program. But this is a simple way of making sure that the room gets a little level, higher level of cleaning. Like if I lived in this room once a month, by the time a year was over, I just live here 3 or 4 days, once a month. This room would be immaculate, because I would eventually figure out how to repair any kind of I do a lot of repairs on rooms because I don't let things slide, and I do it. But this little rags, I can't tell you how much I use this thing. This is just like carrying a rag in your bag. I'm going to try to sell them on Amazon because of the nature of this rag. It's just so absorbent, but at the same sense dries completely out and dries so fast. It's a very abnormal type of material. But I wipe down all the toilet area. You see how I got this, my shorts, these are like my pajama shorts up here? Well, the classic thing is nobody cleans anything high. I mean, if you really want to check out a room, check on top of the doors like you've seen in Mary Poppins or something, right? Or top of the walls. They just do the very minimum areas. Look behind the fridge, look behind the pillowcases, but generally I wipe down all the switches, and I make sure that basically anything I'm touching constantly is sanitized with chlorine. And I only recommend things as a traveler, as a travel writer, video, what a guy writing travel tips or telling you travel tips. I only tell you something you can do pretty much anywhere on the planet. And like carrying Lysol things, you can't even buy them here, right? That's only for like I don't know, a short trip. And you got to be careful with carrying any kind of chemicals in your bag. So I just buy the stuff, dispose of it, boom. But the idea of staying in a room for one day just sounds like torture. I would refuse to travel if you told me I had to stay in each hotel one night. I don't think I can hardly stay less than 4 or 5 nights right now. Okay, Andy Graham trying to give you a tip on the rug. Just carry a rag. When you walk into the room, I wipe my feet off before I get in bed. Just a million uses for this thing that you never would do. One of these days I'm going to try to get it all together and give you the list of the top 30 reasons I carry this thing. Because there's like 30 reasons I carry this thing.
Tonight let's flip a coin.